Testing 1, 2, 3. Let's see if we've got the volume going. The mic, yes. 1, 2, 3. Let's see. Can you hear me, guys? Just say yes. That's a good bounce as well. Okay, so let's have a look. What's going on? That was nasty. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Cool. So we'll go fib levels. Yeah, it is every day. So as I was saying to a few people on my channel, this logarithmic curve regression. Actually, I should get a different chart. Give me a sec. Let's get BTC, USD index. Forget it. Where's the index? That's the one. And if you can see this channel, it's significant. I'll get rid of these lines. These are my trending pivot points. And let's just hide those lines. Okay. So, yeah, we're in a bull market, so nothing's changed. If you look at this channel, it is the macro standard, and it does tell us where the key levels are. And right in the middle of this, let me see if I can do it. Get those settings. Come on, baby. Where is that? So is that a 50%? Let's see if that's a 50%. Yep, right in the 50% level. Right there is what we hit, I believe. So if we get close and zoom in, I need to get rid of some of these lines. So that was all old drawings, and we passed that level there. So you can see that obviously I had a target over there, didn't quite reach it. That's my target goal. So this line was the one that caused the trouble. And in actual case, if we were to put the Fibonacci in there, just actually reverse that. Give me a sec. You can see the 0.618, just above the 0.618. So we did, what tends to happen is overperforms over the 618. So ever so slightly on the, let's see, on the 4 hour. Yeah, so we had this 0.618 level as support, and then we hit this level, which has a lot of confluence over here as a neckline as well. So look, I had my blue line there. I can't remember why, but that blue line obviously has some significance in there. Let me have a look where that comes from. It doesn't quite show. Anyway, so let's put on the weekly 21 moving average. Give me a sec. Okay, there we go. I think that's the weekly. Yes. So the weekly 21 moving average, along with the 0.382 fib level, and this channel, gave you that strong support. Perfect timing, really. That all of them, 3 of them, come into the one spot, and we got this reaction of a big bounce. Damn it, it's too quick. So what does it mean? Well, we've got to watch it, really. So let's see, it's got to settle down. but we have the explanation as to why it got rejection. And the US dollar also happened to bounce as well on the 4 hour, and that could have an impact. There is correlation with the US dollar. I'm not sure if the US actually. Let's have a look at the stock market as well. See if the stock market, the SP 500, had an impact as well. Give us a look. Let's see other markets and SP 500. So let's look at the US dollar at the moment. So that was a US dollar that did a nice bounce. So that caused, and that was pretty much the support level here. So we expected a bounce there, but what kind of support? This is what's going to be interesting. This is an expanding wedge. Now, is this a top formation? I think so. So even though we've got a bounce there, I don't think... actually, yeah, so if we count it, it might come up to this level here. That won't be, come on. There we go. So we're actually where it's roughly now, isn't it? So that 21 moving average could be the resistance for this US dollar. But anyway, the damage is done with this bounce. And now let's look at the SP 500, see what that did. And that also had a bit of a drop. So the US dollar goes up, the whole markets react to it. So that was a bit of a drop as well. This is a 4-hour chart on the SP 500. So it's not just Bitcoin. It's a lot of markets that reacted to that US dollar bounce. Let's look at NASDAQ. Let's see if NASDAQ's there. Actually, let's look at gold. Gold dropped as well. That was painful. And these are trillion-dollar markets. So the gold market dropped as well. NASDAQ dropped a little bit. So gold and... so it's having an impact, isn't it? Let's hope this doesn't keep going. Let's have a look at the US dollar, because I think this is the culprit. Even though it was confluent with that mid channel on the fib level, there was meant to be a rejection. I'll give it that, but the magnitude wasn't expected. I didn't. Yeah, so could be wrong, but I didn't expect that kind of magnitude of a rejection. So let's have a look here. Yeah, so that actually I should go back to the top here, right here. Let's see what that does. So yeah, it bounced off the 0.5 fib level and this formation as well. So that was a strong bounce. And my green is the daily 21 moving average. So this could potentially play a bit of a resistance. We've got also the 0.618 there. So hopefully it doesn't go beyond that, but we need to keep an eye on that. And back to, let's look at what else is there. So the Aussie dollar, let's see what the Aussie dollar's done. So the Aussie dollar's dropped a lot as well. So there you go. The currency's dropped, and let's see Tesla. See if Tesla's done a bit. Where are you? Tesla. I just want to see different markets. No, Tesla's gone up. So Tesla was a good move, but that was based on that uptrend. Actually, Tesla's not a bad chart. I think we should buy Tesla. That looks like a good chart, actually. Wow. Let's point that down a bit. That is a good chart. Buy some Tesla. This is going to go up. Yeah, that looks like a good chart. I think this will go up a bit further up, that's for sure. Anyway, let's go back to Bitcoin. I wonder why it's low. Okay. So Bitcoin's still at the 0.5 fib level. This is our main resistance at the moment. I don't think we're going to break it. I think we're going to get stopped there, and because that was a good bounce. Let me just change the color on that. Okay. So we had that bounce, and it's likely to hang around here, maybe go further back down to this level, and then start moving back up. The other possibility is a V shape, just like bang, and that will be excellent. That'll be a real nice move. So far, we're halfway. Let's have a closer look on the 30 minutes. Let's see what it's doing. And you can't trade this, no matter what. Not now. You can't trade it. What you need to do is wait for a few candles to tell us what's going on. That was a beautiful buying spot. Unfortunately, I didn't have much money left. And what money I had, I'm not going to do it on a dropping knife. And I wasn't quick enough to do it anyway. So that is a weekly 21 moving average. Perfect. I think that's what saved it, as well as this fib level. So bummer. And that was a 10% move to the upside so far. 8%. All right. In terms of the effects to other charts, it's devastating for a lot of the charts. Especially you can see on my right that it's just all red. Link dropped 19%. That stuff, and it bounced pretty hard there, so that was a good buy as well. Ethereum, yep, Ethereum bounced. Ooh, Ethereum dropped a fair bit as well. Massive drop. So a lot of people will be hurting for sure. But rest assured, I don't think this is it. I don't think it's going to continue to go down. What it's going to do is it's going to slow things down a bit. The whales would have bought that dip, and they'll probably just now wait a bit to see what the price does. And if it drops a bit more, they'll buy it again. And if you didn't sell, don't sell. This is long haul. This is a bull market. And let's have a look at a few tools that will give us a different perspective. I'm going to start looking at some of the stuff just to make sure, no assumptions. Let's see what they say. Where are we? Oh, there we are. No, that sucks. That was a good buy. All right. Now let's bring out. Let's see what the pie chart says. Okay. That's not going to help us. I need to use that on the daily. What I want to do is, all right, let's put on the Phoenix. About time frame, we're on the 4 hour. If it comes up, okay. Oh, okay. So I already had tools, and so you can see the RSI is just a big drop. That's not going to help us in any way. But you can see the RSI on the 4 hour is really oversold. And let's look on the daily, on the RSI. So that bit of a fake out with the RSI, isn't it? So I had that formation, broke out, and then went back down. So that looks like a fake out from an RSI perspective. And this daily drop, now here's the thing. Even though it's a big, massive drop, if you look at the indicator here, the green is gone below 50%. Let's look at this, just close up. So you can see that this green is almost down below 50%. So it's not bearish yet. Bit of momentum to the downside at the moment. It's not big. But what you can see is the red RSI is way up above the 70 or 80%. And to go bearish on this market, this has to come all the way down here. So we've got to have a lot of dropping to make this momentum change. So in that sense, it's nowhere near anything bearish. 20% drop is not going to be changing the market and thinking, oh, this is a bear market. No, it's not. It's a bull market with volatility at certain stages. And we've had that in the past where, so what we might experience right now is something like this. This was I think this was a 30% drop all the way down. So yeah, that was a 30% drop, which is nothing new. We've had a few drops on the way up. This is just, I hate to say it, but it's like routine. So that, see that candle there? We had this candle there. I think that's a key level. I remember this was a key level, and that dropped 20%. Now, if we get the next, so this is the daily. If we get tomorrow's candle like this, a follow-up candle like this is going to go way up, and then it's going to hit our 60k target and then drop. So I'm still thinking the 60k, which is right up here, this red line here. I think that's still the target. And then we're going to have this type of formation right underneath. So, but I'm going to reserve my call until I see this next day's candle. So we've got 1 day's candle, which is pretty much in the red, and this, it's already gone above the 50%. Look at that. It's gone above the 0.5. So amateurs would have sold, panicked, and the smart ones would have bought that dip. That's what we call buying the dip. And I stuffed up, not buying it. But hopefully, I wasn't mentally prepared for that one. So just not feeling well. But so I do see they're still trying to, if this like if we see this candle close in that fashion, and then the next candle closes slightly above this one, that's fantastic. And if it closes even half of it above this 20 moving average on the daily, if we close above that, it's like it never happened. And that's a shame for a lot of people, because that's a missed opportunity, and the alts got smashed there. But that's looking strong at the moment. Things could change. Problem is, we are being reactive. These indicators don't finish until the candle's closed. So even though I got this RSI, this RSI's last component is based on that candle. So this could easily flick back up, and then this white line could be support. And it sucks, but that's how it works. So this candle, this last section of the RSI could easily twist around after the day's candle and say that white line was a support. And so we need to wait to find a good entry. And we've seen from this perspective, so this is the daily, that's the 50% on the RSI. Whenever we had a drop below the 50% RSI, we immediately had a bounce up in the bull market. It never really stayed below it, but it's a threat to the trend. So this is a threat to the trend on the daily if it stays below it, but I suspect it's not. And this pretty much Phoenix is pretty much saying that it's still, the pressure is still to the upside. We just need to see how this daily closes. So if we look at the 5 minute, that was, you can see the 5 minute chart, and that you can see how actually on 5 minute that's looking at that fib level as support. So it's bounced above it. Now it's using that for support. And if it holds, early days, so it's done a far out. Look at that bounce. So it wasn't, yeah. So that was small time frame. If you were watching it, that was your exit strategy there. Obviously, that was the first one there. A little mini head and shoulders right there. That played out. So let's have a look at that. Oh, I can't move that. That's an indicator, so I've got to get rid of that. Yeah. So not awkward, but you can see that. You can see how it's dropping. It was round top. I should have seen that. Bit of a bark there and a peak. It's an odd shape, and who's to know who's going to do that? Right now, this is the key level, right there. So let me delete that. You can see that fib line somewhere. It's come into it. Right exactly on that fib line, we are seeing activity. So if we look close, the bulls have got to hold that right on the fib line. So it's going to go up and down, and then we'll find out. If it goes down again, that's not good. It just means that it's going to be hanging around. It could hang down here for a while if it drops below this. But if it stays up there for over a 4 hour candle, then it's probably a signal to go up. All right, let me see what people are saying. Phoenix looks the same as 10th of May. BTC almost also, unless it comes meanwhile potential flash crash incoming. Green day. What's the 10th of May? Just look. Now you're saying here. All right, let's see what we're looking at. My man is saying that 10th of May, which is the dump, the edge. No, it doesn't. It doesn't look the same at all. I'll give you a reason. Let's look at different time frames first of all. So if I look at that drop from there, I have the green and the energy and the red and blue drop at that point there. Right, so I've got all three RSIs drop, as well as I suppose a descending. So this is the 10th of May. Yep. Now here the red and the blue, and the green RSI is below 50%. The red and the blue isn't. So it's nowhere near yet. So that dismisses that as that kind of scenario. So I will go bearish. So this is a 12-hour chart. So it gives us a bit of, it's not a daily chart. The daily will take a bit longer. Daily is even higher. So this daily here, let's look at the daily on that one, and that will probably give us more of a reason why you go bearish. So the daily was even earlier. So the red one, that's when the red crossed over. So that's that big candle there. That was a big candle drop there. So now the structure, this is a topping off structure. That's in context, right? So you got to look at everything in context. This was an ascending wedge. Also, we know that this was the 1.618 fib extension. So it was a massive fib level as a rejection. And the Phoenix, so we've got the structure that is showing bearish signs over time. We've got the head and shoulders as well. So that was what played out. So that was a left shoulder. This was a head. And this was a right shoulder. And I think we had the neckline like that. And that height there, whoops, that height matched this drop. So that was pretty evident. A bit of a work, a grind for a big reversal. There's no work here. This is the first drop, and this will reattempt, and then you will see if it was to be a reversal. Whenever you have something like this, there's always, it doesn't matter how much it drops, it always tries to get back up to where it's supposed to be. And then if it gets rejection, it drops deeper. So we still got time in our hands to make that decision. At this point, nothing shows you it's a bear market. The RSI has dropped. It's still close to the 50%. This is still nowhere near the 50% on the Phoenix. So from my perspective, even this area is in the upper quadrant of the RSI. Here, you can see the RSI struggling above the 50% level. So what happened is already dropped below the daily 50% on the RSI. So this is a change in trend. As soon as we had that was a change in trend on the daily, because the 50% on RSI represents that, and then therefore the rejection to the downside. So this was a clear indication of a coming up bear market, a bear trend. And what happened is when we passed this level here, that's when, and you can see here actually, corresponds to there. We passed the 50% RSI on the daily, therefore we had this move to the upside. Now, similar to here, we had a little dip just below the 50%, and this might happen. This might take out this formation, but this is a continuation pattern. So we had a trend to the upside and a continuation trend. So this is what it is. We have an uptrend, a pause, and then an uptrend is what I expect. What kind of formation it takes is yet to be seen. It could be a descending wedge. It could be a triangle. It could be many of those things, but I do see this playing out something, maybe symmetrical, maybe a triangle like that, a wedge like that, where it plays, and then up it goes. It's still bullish. But it's going to be, with the US dollar, it's not going to help us. So it might hang in this section here, and maybe it might make a formation like that where it bounces, and then we find this area to be support, which is a strong support area on the 0.382, along with the 21 weekly moving average. So if this plays out sideways, it's going to test this level, and each time it touches this, you should buy there. That's if it drops. So, and we did say that it was due for a pullback. This is a nice trend. So we do expect a pullback, and that was the first, and it might slowly come back down again to retest that. So the second touch, and if you look at previous times, we had a first touch, price goes up, gets a bit of rejection, comes down, does a second touch, third touch, and up it goes. So we might experience that. We might have a double bottom. We might have that, or it could be three. But rest assured, this is expected, just not that quick at this point. So I think I'm comfortable with that. It just means that the alts aren't going to be doing well. They got a blood nose at this point, and we have too, I suppose. Hopefully that answers the question about my assessment with the Phoenix. And let's look at the MACD. MACD is a nice, reliable indicator, and let's see what it does. I did press it, didn't I? Yep. I'm sure I pressed it. What the hell is it going on? MACD on the weekly crossed over. Why isn't it coming down? Come on. Wow, doesn't work. Wow, here we go. Why is it? I've put it there a few times, but it's just not showing on the chart. Where's it gone? Far out. Oh, okay, here we go. It's a bit of a delay. And I've pressed it too many times. Sorry, guys. Impatient. All right. So if we look at this, yep, that was a bit. Actually, that does tell you there was a bearish divergence, wasn't there? Didn't look at that. That is a bearish divergence that just played out. So if I was to close that, you can see that price is going up. Wasn't keeping an eye on that, was I? The price is going up. MACD is coming down. Signals. So ever so slightly, right there, was a bearish divergence, and that just played out. So that confirms that there was a pullback coming due, even though RSI tells you that there's a bearish divergence. But the problem with these bearish divergences, you just don't know when they're going to take place. So this actually looks like a bit of a fake out, doesn't it? Just that part there, where even though MACD, so I'm getting all my signals saying buy now, I think. Yeah, line breaks a bit late. I get the signals after the candle's closed. So that shows you a bit of a trick there. Like, you see how it just breaks above it and then dips down. So that looks like a fake out. This one, in a way, or just overperforming. I just can't figure out why I had that blue line, but it's perfectly there. Maybe it's because of this support level. It acted as, so I got this here, and I must have used this level as a target, a strong resistance, which shows you it is. That's a strong resistance. And when it hit that, it was pretty much, so there's a lot of confluence with a lot of things to go bearish for the short term. All right, let's have a look at one more tool. This is the one here. So let me bring this down. Come on. I'm going to see this tool come up. Come on. All right. Didn't quite make it on the daily. So we can see this tool. It's the Maya multiple. And Maya multiple pretty much says when it comes to this region, it's a buy zone. And what we see here is when there's a right there previously, as soon as we passed that, we had a bull market. And you can see still a bull market. So as soon as we pass that red line, I just put in there, it shows you that it's gone bullish. So historically, if we use this historically, see this yellow line, that's the 200 moving average. And whenever we drop below the 200 moving average on this indicator, it's a bear market. And let me just put that there. And you'll see that. Giving you a bit of a lesson here. So whenever we drop below the 200 moving average on this indicator, we can see historically it's a changing trend. Okay, and we had another one here, changing trend, and we had another late one right there, changing trend. So this Maya multiple gives us a good exit zone in terms of entry. As soon as it passed the 200 moving average there, you can see it's a nice signal to go long. And even here, nice signal to go long. And we haven't quite made it here to go long, but the early signs is this red line. So you can see once we cross the red line, it also gives us a signal to go long. So we have early signs to go long based on this level and based on a few other things. The many indicators pretty much says to go long. It's the Maya multiple. So yeah, there's a few things that can help us out. I've got a few other indicators which are going to help me find the top, which I'm done my homework on. And you can't just rely on this, but it does help you historically what's going on. And we know that historically, whenever we break, so let's here we go. Let's do this one. Yep. So let's look at what have we got? The 20 and I think the 50. Yeah. No, that's my 50. Yeah. There we go. So now there we go. So 20 and 50 moving average. Crossover, bearish sign, market drops. Crossover, bullish sign, but the first one was really, that was the entry for the bull sign. That is obviously the 20 and the 50 crossing over. We had one signal there, and then we had that bounce and so on. Now we had the bullish one right there, 20 and 50 as well. And there's a few other reasons why this was a perfect buying zone. Unfortunately, I was in the hospital when that happened, so I didn't have a chance to buy that dip. But I did buy around here. But I really want to go long with the last one with a nice leverage. I missed out on that one. And then you can see that move really sometimes just not meant to be. But you can see that the 50 also came into this zone. The 20 came in, the 50 came in, this fib came in, and that's the response you get when you get free confluences. If you get 2, it's good. If you get 3, it's excellent. And that was it. That was a perfect buying zone. When you look through it, when you go talk through it, this is what happens. You realize later it could have a chance. Is this bearish entry or bullish entry? That was a bullish entry. Here was a bullish bearish move, which was a nice shorting opportunity. Didn't occur to me to even think about it. Just mind's been occupied. But yeah, there was plenty of opportunities, guys. If you're up 24/7 and you're switched on, you can do a lot. You can make a lot of money. It's not that difficult to market. Bitcoin is actually pretty decent with the Fibonacci's and structure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have. Now, if you've got any questions, I'll try and answer them. Have a look at YouTube, see if there's anyone talking there as well. Probably a few live streams taking place. Okay, so no comments. Cool. Probably a few live streams taking place. And a bit of a delay. All right. So where am I now? So that's the YouTube channel. A bit for future references. I've been on 30 minutes on this channel. So realistically, not much really we can say. We just want to see how this. So we can see that it's just fluctuating in this area. I'm hopeful that this holds because see these wicks right there? That's a buy zone historically. That is a buy zone from the previous times. So the fact that we bounced above it, it gives us a chance to use as support. So that is positive. And those candles, ever so small time, that looks bullish. So we had a rejection. It bounced, and they pushed it back down, but now it's trying to go back up. So that's a good sign. Early stages, too early, but that is a good sign. Like I said, this area is a buy zone historically. We had a lot, like we see how we got tested here a lot. So that proved that was a good response. And then we had these also as a buy zone. And this, even though this dropped, if this just holds on, like similar to this, if this just goes up and then tests it once more, it's going to go up. So I don't expect it to go up like that. I expect it to have this bounce, retest it, maybe once or twice, and then up it goes. And so we have time to judge what's going on. Meanwhile, yeah, so we've got plenty of time to watch it. Now let's look at what the other coins are doing. Let's load. Actually, what have we got? Okay, I don't want that. Let's look at this chart. Wow, look at Sol. Look at it, just crazy. That was a beautiful. Oh, geez. So look at it from a Bitcoin perspective. It's even gone higher. So Sol is that was a perfect buying opportunity. Even though it plummeted, that was a good buying opportunity for Sol. So if Sol did that, let's see what the others did. No, the others. So Sol's one of them. Yeah, so far out. All right. Let's look at FTM. Great. My machine is freezing up on me. How great is that? Trying to get my browser to work and it's not responding. Okay. Let's get that there. So Matic hemorrhaged a lot as well. Actually, let's look at FTM from here. FTM. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. That recovered as well. And what was good today? FTT. FTT not as good, but FTM and Sol still doing great. Ethereum. Let's get rid of that indicator. Yep. So Ethereum is doing what Bitcoin is doing at the moment. And you can see that Ethereum pretty much went above that level. So it's found itself, it's going to find itself good support. So this level is going to act like support. And that would have been a good, so we could see the MACD. Yeah, it might come down a lower. So we just got to look for an entry point, even though it's an ugly candlestick to look for it. It is likely to be an opportunity to the upside. And like me, I'm accumulating Ethereum. Not looking to add more Ethereum, but it was just another opportunity where you can do a small trade. Another one was TRX I was into. All the charts are stuffed up, really. Only a few recovered really well. And so far we're seeing which ones they are. Sol and FTM. ADA looks like crap. It's my suspicion that ADA is in accumulation. So it actually looks like previous Bitcoin. That was this looks exactly like Bitcoin, really. Far out. When we did the 64K, this is no different. This is an exact model. That was a perfect shorting opportunity right there. If you saw it, it would have been perfect. So you break the wedge, get the retest, and that was a retest, and then a dump. So now my thinking on ADA is this. Even though it went down further, I didn't think it would go there. I thought it would have been right here. And it's my opinion that this is a big, large reaccumulation structure that we're going to take place. So ADA's not going to be going up anywhere soon, in my opinion. We might have to ignore that wick, and that's the range. That will be the range, and we will see. So that's one. We might see a few in this range and so on, something like that. And before it goes up, it does a shakeout and then continues on. I don't see this as a reversal structure. I just see this as another accumulation structure, reaccumulation. It's got to sort itself out before it goes up. And I've been studying reaccumulation or wick-off structures for a while, and I think that's what's going to happen. This was a massive reaccumulation structure. I don't know how I've never seen anything like it. So this was a massive reaccumulation structure right there, and that just weird. That section becomes weird. The way it pulled back, usually it pulls back deeper. So ADA was giving those signs that it's very bullish. Anyway, and we can probably measure. Yeah, I suppose that's the 1.618 support. Yeah, that makes sense. So the 1.618, pretty much like Bitcoin, the same. So I think this is what's going to happen. I'm really surprised that that's in a similar way, that it's finding support on the 1.618 extension. So I'll get to XRP. So my opinion is it's going to be ranging here. Let's get a few charts out. Let's have a look. Where are we? Here we go. What's this one? Is this what, bro? Okay. So the XRP had a failed attempt. Yeah, and Bitcoin does that to you. So what we had here was a continuation pattern. XRP was looking good actually. So ADA's doing something similar right now. Come on. Right there. Is that going to support? It freaking works. Okay, so that was my original drawing. So that was the top. Bit of a reaccumulation. Should have gone up. So the fact that it dropped back in is going to make it go sideways a fair bit. So it's not finished with the reaccumulation. So this could potentially touch the bottom here again for the third touch before it goes up. It's very likely that can happen. So it might just drop, last time to buy before it goes up. Now this is a massive wick-off structure. When I say wick-off, people need to understand what that means. Charts. In terms of XRP and what's happening in the courts, I've got no idea. So you can see the wick-off charts. It's either a bottom accumulation, something like this. That is an accumulation, bottom accumulation, and Bitcoin did something like that, actually. Very similar. You're right. Yeah, Bitcoin did something like that, and Bitcoin did something like that as well. But the reaccumulation is a combination of that. I'm trying to look for a chart that might resemble it. It looks like I have to bring up my own notes. Give me a sec. Where are we? Do I have my own notes? Here, we should be able to see my... That's not the one. This is the one. It's an empty page. It's not done yet. So we have the reaccumulation. So we've got some of these. These are the ones. These are all like a continuation pattern. There's usually a shakeout before it goes up. And what we're seeing with a lot of, like if you look at Ripple, it's sort of failed. It's a failed attempt with one of these. So we've got 1, 2, 3 touches, and this has got 2 touches, so it can do the 3rd touch. So this one could play out. So what it does is it does 2 attempts to the top, or 3rd attempt, it gets pulled back down for the 3rd, and then up it goes. So I think this could be possible for Ripple. Good night to you too. So I'm pretty much done. It's getting late. Pretty much I'll try to answer the questions in regards to people's fears in terms of a bear market. I mean, look at Sol. It just lost the plot. It's just bounced as high. Lucky I didn't sell any. I did take a little profit to Bitcoin, but more of FTM. So that's crazy. Sol, it just don't know why, but it's going crazy. That is a massive. So people thought, yep, that's very high. I'll just cut my losses. That was a 30% drop, and another 30% bounce. That's 60%. 60% within a few hours. Far out. My gut instinct told me to buy some more, but I thought because it's so high, so overperformed, don't take that chance. And it looks like people were waiting for that opportunity. Ain't the brave. All right, so I'm pretty much done. There was plenty of opportunities there. Then let's look at last time for looking at Bitcoin. Let's see what it's doing. So you can see Ripple dropping. And what's going to happen is every time Bitcoin drops to find its support level, even if it bounces, you watch the alts drop more, and that's where it's worth having your alt into Bitcoin on the downside. It's just one of those things, and you need to time it. You've got to time it well. So Bitcoin is still, it's on a knife's edge, isn't it? It's really struggling to hold that. That's a 4-hour chart, and look at it. It's really close. Yeah, that's very close. A bit more downward. You can see a bit downward pressure in the last 3 30-minute candles. That's 46K, and hopefully it doesn't drop, because what happens is if it drops, it's going to go down to 44, or actually here. Well, we've got a few levels, haven't we? So that was a good support area there. So this needs to hold right there. This is a strong support area, so it needs to hold this, and we're very close. Anyway, can't really guess what it's going to do, but that looks like a little bit of a battle between the bulls and the bears. The momentum of the bears, obviously, but that is a strong buying area, and it needs to hold. Otherwise, here's the main area. It might come back down here again. 20% or range. It's just going to fluctuate. So it's very volatile. A lot of risk involved in trying to find anything. You just got to wait and see. And I wouldn't sell. If I haven't sold, I wouldn't sell now. All right. I'm going to wrap it up for here. I've tried to cover as much as I can. And where's that last chart I had? Oh, there you go. I think this was the chart. Let's have a look at this. This is my fib chart. It's going to be ugly, but there's a lot of different fib levels, and you can see if you can be patient, you can see where the confluences is, so that you can see how this one touched a fib level, a few areas. I'm not even using a moving average. Just this is all fib, and we can see that the fib found rejection on this major line, and it's finding support on this level here, which is the 0.382 fib that we did last time. So I wonder, it's going to just, yeah, it might just do that, and a reversal pattern like that, either the upside or the downside. This could be a continuation pattern to the downside, or it could be a reversal pattern to the upside. So it might just hold here and just go sideways before it decides which way it's going to go. That's nasty. It's not going to help us. But while that happens, I'm not sure what the alts are going to do. Let's have a look at Bitcoin dominance. All right, here, where is it? I just had it there again 1 second ago. Here we go. Bitcoin dominance. Hit that. Oh, okay. So the alts will recover very quickly. You can see how that got pulled back. So this was a key level. You can see based on this previous bottom. So this range here in the middle is going to be stronger. I can see how the RSI actually found that level to be a bounce spot. That's a bullish divergence probably in the making. And we're just going to see, obviously you can see here, that was the previous support, and it just found the resistance there. So this might just go around like this before it keeps going down to test the next level here, and then up. I think this will be a double bottom. 1, 2, 3. And how much will it go up? Maybe just like that. Maybe just a continuation to the downside pattern as the alt season continues on. We just got to wait and see how. But I do believe this is going to come down to this level here. So the alts aren't finished yet, But when it comes to here, there's definitely going to be a strong move to the upside. And we need to keep an eye on that as well. And the last chart I want to look at is the total market. Total Bitcoin or the crypto market. I haven't looked at this for a while. Okay, so that looks like a double top, doesn't it? I didn't think of that. That looks like a double top. So if I put this on the weekly, and if I just hide everything, that looks close to pretty much a double top. Yeah, that's why we've got a bit of a rejection as well for the alt. Okay, it's not just the US dollar. I thought we just thought it could be many things, but definitely. Total market cap. I'm just gonna move this. Give me a sec. Get away. So now let's look at that. Although it looks similar to Bitcoin, you can see that realistically, from a crypto perspective, that's pretty good. The fact that we touched that level, I'm just going to hide all that. Don't need to see that anymore. So now let's have a look at the RSI, if that's going to give us any hand with the total market. So if we look at that, okay, what can we, so if this is a major resistance, right, from there to there, that's a major resistance, and we've got a double top, and therefore a nice rejection. But we can see, realistically, you can see that weekly candle is not done yet. We need to see what that weekly candle does, really. At the moment, it's still bullish, a hammer. I would say that if this was, I'm just going to have a guess at that. That's the top there, and that's the top there. So we're going to put a straight line like that. And it could be possible that this is, we're going to have a bit of a pullback from what I'm seeing there. So that's our, let's see. Maybe, but anyway, that's, if it lets me do it, that's our A, our B, our C, D, and then potentially, at this moment it's too early, we don't have enough clues. This could easily be 1, 2, and a 3, move up to the upside. So that could be one way, or we have this long dragged out way where so this might just play itself out, and it could be some sort of consolidation under this major resistance, which is the all-time high for the total market. So we might looking at this, we might slowly drift down, because if this is a double top, generally what happens is you do descend a bit deeper, and so that's a bit bad, I suppose. Or you can consolidate here and be very bullish and just break out. So that's going to be hard to determine by just looking at that. There's definitely a few scenarios, and we just got to see what happens there. But yeah, the total market cap is a double top on the weekly. If I look on the 2-day chart, you can see how that's dropping, RSI. So it's going to head down south. So this was a bearish divergence on the total market as well. Prices going up, but we've got RSI being flat, so that's pushed it down. Now the question is, how deep is this going to be? I don't think it's going to be that deep, to tell the truth, because it's not been worked up to. Like this is a very bearish divergence, right? And it took a while. So this is not going to take a while. This is more like actually a bullish one. If you look at that, this could be a bullish boiling wedge, and then depending how much it goes down south, but that could be it there. Like that line could be just the support that it needed, and then a reversal. So this is a 2-day chart. Let's look at the 1 day. Yeah, so the 1 day is even more prevalent. There you go. That's the line there. So it might go just a bit lower using this RSI, total market cap. So it's got a bit more lower to go based on this. If we do expand that big, yeah, so this might just come down to this, I think that's a 50% or support line. So I think it's going to come down to this level before it does a bounce. Yeah. This didn't work, but this does work actually. And that pretty much hit the target. Oh, okay. Yeah, so this will be coming days and week or two. Total market cap is not going to just go flying up. I don't think so. It's going to work its way up to the top before it breaks out, but that looks good. All right. I think I'm done covering from many perspectives. I'm going to wrap it up, guys. Have a good night. Have a good rest. It's very late for me. I was going to go to sleep, but I want to see what happens with the charts. Everything slowed down. It's calmed down, and can't predict what's happening. But it is a bullish market, that's for sure. And I suppose we just need to wait and see where our opportunities come. But right now, if you haven't jumped on that bottom, so Carver bottom, Carver's not doing well. But that was the bottom there. I see that being that is an ugly top. That looks like a head and shoulders really. So if that was the head and shoulders from there to there, and that was a neckline, it's pretty much close to done. Yeah. So I think that was the bottom for Carver, and it really overextended. Like I've never seen anything go so south with Carver. Like look at that RSI. That's a 4-hour. That's oversold, and that's where you should have bought. Yeah. So in that sense, I don't think that this is where loose hands, panic hands, oversell, and so that's capitulation for me in that sense. And realistically, if we were to add the last part to this, come on. Let's put the volume. There'll be a massive candle there, I think. Yeah, not that big actually. It'll be bigger than that. All right. But that is the bottom for Carver. I do believe that. It's just a big support area. So that was a good buying spot there. I'm wrapping up, guys. Please give me a like. Even a donation will be nice. Come and join my channel. It's in my signature. I do constantly put stuff out there, and if those are interested in looking at training, you can contact me directly. But yeah, give me a like, a share, even a donation. That'll be great. Talk to you soon.